Welcome to the Built Different podcast. Let's get it. Welcome everybody to the Built Different podcast. I'm your host, Thomas Axby, joined by my co-host. We got Wolfie, we got Rickey, we got Not So White Chris.
Yo.
And honestly, guys, this is episode number 3.
High and Inside.
Episode number 3 of High and Inside.
Yeah, well, let's go.
It's been a blast so far. We got a good show for you today. So, Chris, why don't you kick us off with your top take right now?
First thing I'm going to say is, peep the first episode. Link is right here. I called the Guardians being legit. Cal, Q-Trill. Straight Trill. Q-Trill. Heat it up. Jose Ramirez, 2 home runs today. 7-0, blank to play Padres. Here we go. Check it out.
Q-Trill, I love that.
Ow!
Wolfie, what's up, man?
Yo, what's going on? Wolfie here. Hot take of the day. Julio, 2020. 20 home runs, 20 steals. Bobby Witt, 3 behind him. 17 home runs, 24 stolen bases already. Yo, we got some hot rookies coming in. Everybody's talking about the Braves rookies. We've already had some guys in the league that are about to crush the home run records for rookies if they were playing a full season. But you know what? 20 for like missing a couple months and 20 stolen bases already. Get ready for that 40-40 season there, Rickey. So I mean, I'm gonna pass it off to you for your hot take of the day.
Yeah, you just kind of rolled everyone right into mine. Like, yeah, I was just asking them the other day. Y'all wouldn't know because this was off camera. We was just talking amongst each other's fellas, and I wanted to know if we was ever gonna see another 40-40 guy again. Like, because the two, you just mentioned Bobby and Julio. Do they have 40 home power? You know what I mean? I don't know. And then my other, thing that's on my mind is, I seen something on MLB Network talking about the Braves rookie class. Are they the best ever? And I'm like, I might want to hit a pause on that because I think there's a few off the top of my head that I might have to spill out later on. But yeah, that's what's burning up inside me right now. Those two things. Yeah, man. Tommy, what up? What's on your mind, man?
I mean, first off, I want to say that the Texas Rangers, I think they're definitely going to be a team that we're going to have to watch out for. Not this season, because obviously I think they're a little too far behind this season.
Maybe when I'm old.
Unless they go on some magical run. But they're a pretty good team, so they're 10 games under 500. I don't think a lot of us expected them to be that. I think a lot of us expected them to be one of the worst teams in the league.
For sure.
But if you look, I mean, their team overall, with John Gray leading the rotation, with resurgent Martin Perez, and all the other pitching that they got. They got Jonah Heim, who's playing as expected. Corey Seager and Marcus Semien, they're always there. They got a good little team. They got another free agency coming up. They got prospects coming up like Jack Leiter and Josh Jung and Kumar Rocker, who they just drafted, and
I think
and Owen White.
Howard, right?
Yeah. Spencer Howard. He's very underrated.
No, he's something. He's a diamond in MLB.
He struggled.
Yo,
how many times this year have you bet against the Rangers because Spencer Howard was on the mound, Saxby?
Every time.
I bet on him one game
time.
and he let me down, and it was a very short leash, and I did not want to bet for him ever.
Well, like I said, he's a diamond in MLB The Show. He's got some potential.
But ain't he a former Philly? This is why something
That's
reeks
why you bet
of,
against him.
Yeah, something reeks of division rival hate here. I'm like, yo, there's some past history here. We gotta go through the search.
I don't know. I think they've built another good one. I think they were smart with their trades. They obviously saw that with this last little rebuild that they did before the current one that it wasn't working. I think they made the right trades. I think it was led by Gallo and Nomar Mazara and failed Drixon Profar and everybody else that they
Elvis
had.
Andrus for Chris Davis.
Yeah, but
that was
Andrews
a
was there
monster. That was a
I feel like
trade.
Elvis Andrus has played in this league for a good 25 years. Like,
he's
He's still playing now with the White Sox.
He's like the Patty Mills of baseball, but never mind. I don't.
he's on the White Sox. I thought he was on the Athletics.
No, he got dropped.
He got dropped, DFA'd.
And they DFA'd him, and 3 days later, the White Sox.
Yeah.
Dude, it happened. I actually think it happened since our last episode.
Yeah, because Tim Anderson's had such an awful, weird year. They needed a stopgap, I guess.
Yep.
Even though the White Sox are a goddamn mess, and they need to fire La Russa tomorrow. Nonetheless,
2 years ago.
So yeah, as he sips drink, by the way.
Hey, it's water. It's water.
2 years ago. Oh man.
I ain't pulling a La Russa.
What? Yo, I have another question, but we can answer this one quick. What's going on with Oakland? Do they even care? Anyway, let's get right into it, y'all. They don't care. I answer it for you.
Yo.
They don't care. Let's get
Dude,
right
they
into
don't
it.
care at all.
All the shade. All the shade.
Ricky was just like, let me just shit on the Oakland A's.
Like,
just
if they don't care, why the fuck should I? Why should we?
I thought you would be honestly. I thought you'd be happier coming into the show because the Yankees just beat the Mets 2 games in a row. But you came in all grumpy at the.
Dude,
A's.
we're not even 10 minutes in. You had to say something like that. Really?
Nah, actually,
Ricky was like, you know what,
Write it
guys?
down,
That's the take already.
You know what, guys?
All right.
Yeah.
Let me get my Philly
I got
hat.
this for good reason. If I gotta put this on my head, look, every black grandson, granddaughter knows what these mean. If she gotta come outside with the bonnet, I'm gonna have to start cussing y'all out, over my Yanks. So once I put that shit on, it's on. Just fair warning.
The thing is, though,
Buckle up.
the Mets are now only I think a game and a half ahead of the Braves. You have the Phillies coming only a few games behind that. You have Bryce Harper coming back, and you have Stanton coming back for the Yankees. So I gotta ask, who's gonna be more impactful, Bryce Harper or Stanton?
All right. Well, I mean, if you're gonna ask that question, I'm gonna be the first one to respond. It's our division. I'll be honest. I'm saying Stanton, and let's say this: Harper was actually there before the Phillies, had that spiral where they fired Girardi and all that. They're playing good baseball. They don't need another hitter. They need bullpen help. They need pitching help. The Mets actually beat their top pitchers with Nola and Wheeler going. So if a team actually needs help, it's the Yankees. If the Yankees had Stanton, let's break this down. I know their whole lineup, Boone's basically throwing dice on the table, and it's that's how our lineup's going to be for the day. If you have Benintendi, and then, by the way, I'm not even saying that's wrong. I'm just saying, let's bring back guys like Stanton. If you could have Benintendi, Judge, either a Rizzo-Stanton combo, that gives a lot more protection for Judge. So a team like the Yankees that have been kind of in, I don't even want to say a spiral. They just hit their first slump this season. They're about to win 100 games regardless, especially in a division that's actually strong. That has
they
the
better.
Orioles,
fucking
Tampa,
better.
Toronto. Even your Red Sox, before you're saying your Red Sox are down and out, you guys are only single digits out of the third wild card. Thank God we have one. But Stanton being in that lineup gives Judge protection, and he also gives that pop. Plus, he doesn't have to play the field now that you have Benintendi. I mean, I don't want Hicks out there, but if you have Benintendi, Hicks, and Judge, Stanton straight up DH, it's pretty good. So you know what? I'm gonna say Stanton's probably the guy. Harper, he does help. I mean, saying Harper doesn't help in a lineup is straight up facts. It's bullshit. So if you have Harper in the lineup, it does help. But Stanton gives more to that lineup. They already have Schwarber, Castellanos, Bohm steps up. So I think Stanton helps more than having Harper in the lineup. Harper is a better player defensively, offensively. He adds more potential, but to actually help what a team needs right now, I would say Stanton.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is NL East Hate. Brought to you by Woofy. Fresh
I'm
out
right
the
here.
oven.
I'm
Yeah,
right here.
man. Ain't no way in hell. Look, you trust the Phillies lineup? I don't trust Nick Castellanos. Not this year. I don't know what happened to that man. I saw him on. I opened my fridge. He was on my milk carton. That man has not. I have not seen that man all year. And it's
I
a
would say I
letdown.
trust him. No.
I don't trust Kyle Schwarber either. Like, he gets on those little. He'll hit 5 home runs in 1 week, and everyone's like, "Ooh, look at this little fire hydrant
Yo,
man."
put some respect on that man's name.
I'll
You see
put
that
respect
stat
on his
that came
name
out
when he's
recently?
doing that.
You see
I
that
put
stat
respect
since
on-
2018? He
Put
has
some
like the
respect on
top
his
5
name.
home runs in the NL since then.
What, as far as distance?
No, just overall, he has like 156.
Yo, Kyle Schwarber whips it out, and all the ladies look.
Oh my God, the ladies.
And I
know
don't even
nothing
want
about
to
hitting
say it because
210.
he's always against my teams. He's on the Cubs, he's on the Phillies. But dude, he actually has like, what is it? I think it was like 156, something around there since 2018.
He needs to make contact. Like, I'd be asking for the man to just hit 240, 230. It's just it's too many holes in that lineup. Nothing about the Phillies feels trustworthy. And as much as I don't trust the Yankee lineup outside of Judge, I could at least look at a DJ LeMahieu. Gleyber Torres kills lefties. Rizzo has postseason experience. I could squeeze something out of that lineup. I have said on both the prior episodes, my concern is starting pitching with us. I'm not worried about the hitting. My thing is, if Stanton come back, what Stanton we getting? Because he's in the midst of his career worst all across the board. I'm like, you getting Harper back, and you hear what he's doing already.
Well,
He won MVP last year. They're getting their MVP back.
Well,
And they managed to stay in the race. I'm like, that got to be the more impactful move, man.
well, the thing is, like you just said, they're bringing the MVP back, but if you bring Stanton back, you're bringing a bat back. What pitching are you bringing back? It's almost September. You don't have a trade deadline coming up. You don't have a guy that you're bringing up. The guys that you're talking about are Volpe and Peraza, and you're probably not bringing them up. So the only thing you could do right now is add a bat. So since your pitching isn't doing well, like, don't get me wrong, that sucks. We need guys to step up. But if they're not stepping up, the only thing you can do is hope guys like Edman and Stanton can come back. Like, Phillies.
I hope
like,
Harrison
Harper...
Bader could pitch.
Dude,
Fucking.
dude, he's your new guy. Did you hear? He's your new Montgomery.
Yeah.
They actually just got him for the rotation.
Yeah, I hope he has a fucking cutter.
Oh, don't even
And
get
a
us started on
Chris
Montgomery.
Seaver.
Oh my gosh, jeez.
Before I go, Chris, what is your take on your own question?
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with Rickey because that's just stupid. Rickey, he laid it out perfectly. Bryce Harper is definitely MVP. But I think, honestly, the Yankees need Stan to come back, and here's why. Judge and the rest of the
I always
Yankees,
knew I liked you.
there's only one reason why. And it kind of hurts me to say it because it's the Yankees. But I feel like if they want to prove that this is going to be the first Yankees team in, 20 years. It'll be the second Yankees team to win in 20 years, right? World Series if they get there.
Jeez.
How many
They need
motherfuckers
Stanton. They need
That's
Stanton.
2
Hold up.
decades,
They
bro.
need Stanton in the lineup
2.
to be the Robin to Judge because they
Thank
need
you.
Aaron Judge needs Stanton to look up to him because he's his role model. He's his big brother. And the rest of the Yankees are like Gotham City, right? So, they're all the regular citizens, right? They need their Batman and Robin. So, I think, Stan comes back. They're best buddies. My little brother's back. He continues on, maybe wins the MVP. He's the front runner. He's like minus 750 on the betting line. So, if the Yankees want to do it, this is the year, right?
You gotta go.
Are you fucking
You gotta.
for serious with that shit? Like,
Let the Yankee fan come in. I'll sit back.
what kind of first take Skip Bayless take was that? Like, no, what? Batman and Rob? No, what? Arkham? What? Nah, man. Listen, like, what the hell does
Batman
any of that?
Returns by Chris White.
Like, nah, man. He looks up to him. Judge is not thinking about that man.
Matt Harvey is not on the Mets, dude.
I'm gonna take a
Thank
surprising
you.
stance here, and I'm gonna go with Bryce Harper. Now the reason why
Oh, jeez.
I'm gonna say Bryce
the
Harper.
Nationals guy goes Bryce Harper. Continue.
Oh Lord.
The reason why I'm gonna go Bryce Harper is because Yankees are gonna do what they're gonna do this postseason. I think with or without Stanton. Stanton is a great playoff performer, but I think they're just gonna do or not do. I don't think Stanton's really gonna have an effect on that.
Yes.
Unless again he has like a monstrous postseason, then whatever. But I'm gonna go with Bryce Harper. Ricky, I'm gonna kind of come at you for your Kyle Schwarber take a little bit. I know he's hitting 220, 210, whatever he's hitting. However, at the same time, he's the leadoff hitter, and he has 30 home runs from the leadoff position.
Which sucks.
That alone, I don't care. I get it. Traditional baseball, you want a guy that can hit for average out of coming right out of first. But if you're getting Bryce Harper back, and I think most likely he's going to hit second like he was before, now Kyle Schwarber's going to get a little bit better pitches. So your leadoff hitter has the potential to hit a home run, and then you're just going to give the bat to Bryce Harper, right? So the Phillies have a better team than you guys think as well. I don't know what has possessed me to sit here and defend the Phillies, but when you look at it,
I don't know either. You tell us.
G. Segura been their best player, to be honest. If we're really
they have Zach Wheeler,
They
Aaron
finally got
Nola,
him
and
back.
Noah Syndergaard as their 1, 2, 3, and they have a fantastic Ranger Suarez out of their fourth, and Kyle Gibson who can get it done when asked of him.
He's been a solid.
Then you
fifth
go
for them.
into their bullpen and it's just full of guys like Sir Anthony Dominguez. I know he's hurt now.
Is no joke.
There's a chance he comes back, but they got David Robertson now, Connor Brogdon, Jose Alvarado, Brad Hand can still get it done. I hate that guy, but I think he can still get it done. and then their lineup, you're inserting Bryce Harper into a lineup that'll have, Castellanos who needs something to get him going. Maybe it's Bryce Harper coming back.
I hope so.
Kyle Schwarber, Rhys Hoskins, Real Muto, Segura's having a good year, like you said. Bohm isn't a slouch. I think, they're going to be a dark horse. They have the potential to beat a team in front of them that's not really going to be taking them too seriously. Because when we look at it and we look at everybody, I think it's going to be a dogfight between the Mets, the Braves, the Dodgers. The Cardinals obviously always have a chance. No one's looking at the Phillies. This is going to be the perfect opportunity for the Phillies to just come up, give the uppercut that they'll need to give, and
Ugh.
yeah.
I just think it's a waste.
I think and we're talking about Bryce Harper, and last year's MVP.
I just
returning to a lineup that is keeping them in the playoffs.
But real quick on Schwarber, I just think it's a waste of a resource when you got a guy that can go deep and he's leading off. I just would like to see that guy hitting a little further down, that way he
But
can
that's
maybe
the
drive
thing.
in a run
Exactly
or
like
two.
you said. But exactly like you said about Kyle Schwarber and how streaky he is. One hot streak out of that number one spot, and that could be one playoff games.
No, dude. The problem is, look at it like right now. They don't have Harper. I guess
He's capable.
But look at what the Braves just did to the Mets. Look what the Yankees just did to the Mets. Rickey already knows about that. And then you had the Phillies right smack in between.
I heard.
And they didn't do anything against the Mets. They won one measly game, which was a doubleheader against basically like our backup guy. Like the Phillies are, I don't want to say trash, but like even when they add Bryce Harper to that lineup, like what, one more bat? You guys had Wheeler and Nola pitching, and you couldn't win. It's not about adding Bryce Harper. It's just that their team just isn't built to win. The Yankees
feels fraudulent.
have won already. The Phillies haven't won. That's why I'm saying Chris agrees. Adding Stanton to a lineup that has won already, and they've proven it, to a team that basically had to fire a manager to just light a fire under their tuchuses.
But how can you say Stanton added to a team that's winning already when the Phillies have won all
What
year
is
without Bryce
Stanton
Harper?
adding? Last time I seen him, I think he was getting golden sombreros.
And I'm
Let's
not
just
gonna
say
sit
this:
here
you're
and
gonna have
use
you
the
had to
Mets.
bring up
I'm not gonna
Oswald.
use the Mets as a scapegoat in this conversation because the Mets are a really good team that's running into they're just losing to other good teams.
Yeah.
I think you're underestimating Nola too. Like he was in some people's category as a top 5 Cy Young candidate this year.
No, he's great. I'm just saying
He
against the
is.
Mets. Actually, him and Wheeler against the Mets have terrible career stats, so that's probably another factor. But I'm just saying, like Stanton going into a lineup that's just underperforming what they were doing months ago, I think helps a team that's already doing well. Adding in another player, the Phillies are actually like, and I'm not hating them. They're doing well already, but you're talking about helping a team more. They like that helps them, but does it help a team like the Yankees more adding Stanton? I don't know.
I don't.
Harper's a great
I think
player.
I think
I'm not saying he's not, but I'm saying they're already doing well without Harper. The Yankees,
I think
they kind of need Stanton.
I think I'm going to switch now. I think I'm going to go with Harper, and the reason why is because, you know, just what Saxby said all year, they've pretty much gotten by without Harper. Yeah, they're 10 games behind the Braves, 10 games, 11 games behind the Mets. They're well behind the Dodgers. But if they get hot right here, they could just sneak by, beat the Dodgers, and then,
Real quick, whose floor do you trust more, Harper's or Stanton's? Whose ceiling is
after
higher,
seeing Harper last
or
night,
Stanton's?
I'm not even saying it's about who's a better player. Like I trust Harper more. Like Harper's a better player.
Yeah,
I'm just
saying like adding the player in that they need right now. Like I'm not saying Stanton's gonna come back and hit 5 home runs a game. Like you're right, he might strike out 4.
I see what you mean.
But like Phillies are doing good without him, dude. Since they fired Girardi, they're like like in their 40s and 20s or something like that. Like.
Right, and now you're adding Bryce.
No, I know,
Harper,
and that's a powerhouse. But like, dude, adding Stanton
that
for
team
Oswaldo
is
Cabrera, like,
I need to see
and
the schedule.
want him to do well, but that changes their team. They lost Carpenter, Rizzo was hurt at one point, Stanton's hurt. Adding Stanton back to that team changes.
Philly's
that
been beating up on bad teams.
What exactly does it change more than what Bryce Harper would change for the Phillies? Now I'm gonna present this to you just real quick, like what Harper is gonna provide better pitches to Schwarber, which is crazy. Mm-hmm. Better pitches to Castellanos. He's gonna provide better pitches for the whole lineup, and just his presence alone, his eye for the ball. I know he's still striking out a lot, but he still gets his fair share of walks.
Yeah, excellent.
I mean, I think that adding that to a team that's already winning as compared to Stanton, which I'll wait to hear what he's gonna add to the lineup, because what is he gonna add? Some more fucking strikeouts? I mean, like I love Stanton, but I just I can't see him being that big of a deal coming back from an Achilles injury this late in the season.
Here's an interesting
in the midst of his worst season at that.
The Phillies we'll see if the Phillies are real or not. Mid-September, 9/16 through 9/25. So they got 3 games in Atlanta, 2 games at home versus the Blue Jays, and then they play Atlanta again for a 4-game homestand. So after that, they got between that they got the Marlins, they have the Nats twice, they also have the Astros to end the season, who might be resting people at that point. But I mean, if we'll see. I mean, he's coming back right in time for that. I mean, he's coming back next week. They said this Thursday. I think they said.
Yeah, and he's gonna have time to ramp up before the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't think Houston's gonna take their foot off the pedal. By the way, I think they see that the Yankees are kind of bleeding out a little bit, and that I think they want to go for a home field advantage. That's just my opinion.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna go for it.
I mean, the way that things are going, they're kind of like. They might have time. They might have games at the end to still rest and do that.
But I mean, I just Wolfie, and I didn't mean to come at you that hard over the Giancarlo Stanton thing. I just think Stanton's he's not gonna get Aaron Judge better pitches. No matter what, Aaron Judge is gonna be honestly. I think it's gonna turn into a situation where they just teams are gonna avoid him altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Like Barry Bonds?
Yeah.
Is that where Aaron Judge goes next year? San Francisco.
Yeah, Jeff Kent didn't get walked. They were
Look,
pitching to him. They didn't give a fuck
one
what he
team
was
lost
doing
guys.
too.
One
They
team's
still
doing better without him. Like it's it. Harper is a better player. He's going to help the team more overall when it comes to stats and what he could do. But the team's good without him. Like Stanton, while he has had bad days, you had to bring up guys that are hitting like 140. Like adding
Oh
Stanton
gosh,
to the
yeah.
lineup is a better addition than Harper overall when it comes to needing them to win right now. Like one team could go without. Actually, if Harper didn't come back all year, Phillies are still going to make the playoffs, guaranteed.
But are they gonna win any games?
I mean, are the Yankees going to win any games
Yes.
against who?
Without Stan,
I think
Other
it's
than
matchup
Houston, all right,
dependent.
I mean, the first round, yes, but are they going to beat Houston? No. I mean, is Stanton going to help? Yes. Are the Phillies going to beat the Mets with Harper? No.
You
In
know
my
what?
the
opinion.
Astros are just gonna pitch their righties against the Yankees, and Stanton's almost irrelevant.
Yo, in a roundabout way, the Yankees and the Phillies are in the same position. And it
I'm
makes
just
me
saying
sick.
one's better suited with that player. One's already proven they can win without that player. The Yankees lost Stanton and other guys. They started losing. Harper was already a DH because he couldn't feel because of his injury before he really got injured, and they already started winning without him. So adding that back is going to boost them. One team actually needs the other.
I wonder what was the Phillies'
Batman.
schedule on this run. They probably beat up on some bottom feeders.
Well, they're in
got
the
it.
NL East. They get to face the Marlins and the Nationals and the Mets. No, I'm kidding.
They must
but-
have played a ton of NL Central too.
But I got a question though. Kind of since we're kind of talking about Aaron Judge, kind of not, and we're gonna start with you, Chris. Let's say Aaron Judge has a fantastic rest of the year, ends up historic. I don't know, whatever you're gonna label as historic in your mind, whatever stat line comes to mind, he gets that. And Jacob DeGrom, random bringing him up, I know. But Jacob DeGrom, let's say he stays healthy for the rest of the year, goes in the postseason, and has some good performances for the Mets. So between those two, who would you sign in the offseason? And I don't want to have that argument where it's like, oh, well, this team would need different things. It's a good team. Just think of a good team needing one more piece to take them to the next level.
I mean, I would definitely pick Aaron Judge. He's going to be the MVP this year, you guys say, right? So why not pick him? And I think you add him to. I know you said not to pick a team, but how great would it be to see the Red Sox finally take a Yankee? But I mean, that we're never going to see that because the Yankees are going to re-sign Judge. Like it's at this point, like it's going to happen. Like he might go to the Giants, but I think. I mean, it's hard to say because it really depends on what the team needs, but I think if Jacob DeGrom, that's the only question mark he's had is his health. But then Judge is kind of in the same boat. Like everyone's like, can he stay healthy? He's risking it all himself this year. So I guess it really. I feel like you would just go for both of them and just be happy if you got one of them. That would be what I would say.
Chris, I'll give you
That's
a
that's
little
tough.
addition to that. Let's say both of them are healthy, 100% healthy. Let's go with that, 100% healthy.
Well, Wolf, what's your answer then?
Well, I was gonna say because with that take, because we're hoping if someone signs a big contract, they're gonna be 100% healthy. So you got to look.
No,
at
I
it
get.
very-
I get they're both healthy, but like.
No.
if
That's
you-
not like I'm saying.
if you're
I'm saying
the- if
you're
you're
gonna
the
sign them
Braves,
to a
like-
team. Do you sign Judge
Yeah, I
if
mean-
you're the Braves, or do you sign DeGrom if you're the Braves right now?
If I'm the Braves, all I need is really Jacob
A healthy,
DeGrom, and then,
100%
who's gonna-
all season healthy.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm the Braves, I'm picking DeGrom. But if I'm the Giants, I would probably go for Judge over DeGrom. I mean, I would probably go for both of them if I was the Giants. But
But I'm
I mean,
saying
if you're
if
the
you're a
Mariners,
team-
if this is
But
where
I'm
the
saying
conversation gets weird, is because if you're the Mariners, then, maybe you would imagine seeing Judge with Julio. They would be like Papa Judge. I don't know. It's like instead of Papa John's, like Papa Judge, back-to-back home runs.
Flying off the
J
handle.
home runs.
It's like a law
Papa
firm.
Judge, Judge Papa delivers. Like, I don't know, Judge. But like, but the same sense,
Aaron
like, if you're the
Rodriguez.
Mariners, again, if you're the Mariners, like, if I'm the Mariners, I would go for both of them. Why would you not want to go for both of them if they're not healthy? So I think it's really hard to say, without having a roster in front of you. Maybe, I don't know who. I would probably just
All
go
right,
for
so
both if they're both healthy.
you're the GM of a team, an unnamed team that has 3 solid starting pitchers and a solid lineup.
Well, you're the Mariners.
Well, then I'm signing Judge.
The Mariners are actually a perfect example. Well, who would you sign, DeGrom or Judge?
I'm signing Judge. Mitch
Yeah, I'm
Haniger's a
signing
free
Judge.
agent.
Actually, you know what? I'll give you. Well, and he said it too. What
I'm
would you do
signing
with the
DeGrom
Braves?
if I'm the Mariners.
I'm going for both. I'm trying a way to do it. Like,
I want to
the
protect
All-Star
Julio in the
games,
lineup.
like it's the perfect picture. Like the All-Star games next year, like in Seattle, like
Julio needs more protection
perfect year to make a run.
in that lineup. You get Aaron Judge, and then you go to war with them. They got enough pitching. They got enough bullpen. The Mariners need, unless Mitch Haniger gets re-signed, but there's no guarantee with that. And if you have a chance to get Judge over Haniger, you do that. So yeah, I think they would elect to do that. But
Did we forget about Ty France's existence?
he's a first baseman. He's an infielder.
Yeah, but if you want to talk about Julio Rodriguez protection, like it's been working all year for.
Man, he's a security guard. I'm talking about a freaking Navy SEAL, man.
Are we
He got a
underrating
taser. He's got like a.
He got a flashlight. Like, you know what I mean? He got a little
Where's
hit.
my notebook?
He
He
throws
got
stickers at you
little
that say
pepper.
stop.
He got a little pepper spray on him. You know what I'm saying?
I got an
Come on.
eye.
Yeah, like the mild grade.
But yeah, he right. Yeah, I didn't say. Oh my
obviously-
God, I didn't
obviously
say
an
Ty
MVP
France sucked. I said he ain't that kind of protection.
J.P.
He
Crawford.
ain't that.
No, you know what it is?
Jake-
I see it like a
you're
team.
getting-
J.P. Crawford.
Dude, I
You're
see it like a
getting,
team though with like the
Judge
Padres.
presumably coming off MVP.
I see it like a team though with like the Padres or the Braves, even the Cardinals. The Cardinals are a perfect example. If you had DeGrom to those teams, you're like winning a game every time. Imagine if DeGrom was a Cardinal with Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt leading that charge. Or even, I hate to say it because they're doing pretty shit against even like a team like the Nationals. But if you had DeGrom to the Padres, if you had DeGrom to the Braves, the Dodgers, the Seattle Mariners, Houston, the Yankees, those teams are going off. Don't get me wrong, Judge helps those teams. But right now, if you add DeGrom to those teams, even just DeGrom this year, not even the Cy Young years, you're talking about like a team that's going to damn near win it all. That's like adding... Scherzer went to the Dodgers, and that was like nutty. If you added DeGrom right now to the Dodgers, or... Imagine if DeGrom went to Houston and you had DeGrom and Verlander back-to-back. Like, they're not losing.
DeGrom going to the Dodgers is KD to the Warriors. I don't want to see that.
Dude, like, and Judge is great. I love Judge, but like Judge
That's a
going
slaughter.
to the Dodgers with Mookie would be great. DeGrom going to the Dodgers right now would be like, it would be mind blowing, bro.
What, so he could give us fucking 10 starts and shit the bed again like he always does? I mean, like...
Dude, no.
Oh,
He's going to do that. He's going to leave the Mets and not do that. That's what he's going to do.
I mean, but here's the thing. Let's say the Mets win the World Series, right?
I like how he just says it like that.
Here-
the
here-
team that hasn't won in almost 40 years. Let's just
here's
say
the
they
trend.
won the World
Here's-
Series.
I'm calling it out. If the Mets win the World Series, DeGrom gets re-signed to a crazy-ass deal, just like we saw with Chris Sale, just like we saw with Strasburg, because they won the title.
100%.
And you know what happens after that? They get hurt
That's not even
riding
like
a
a crazy
bicycle.
hypothetical. That's
Riding
just
a
saying the thing they
bicycle.
haven't done in 40 years.
riding
Oh nah,
a
they ain't
bicycle.
gonna.
They get hurt.
No, actually, they're not gonna
Get
do no
hurt.
dumb shit like that. They get hurt actually playing. And by the way, random. If Trevor Bauer doesn't do WWE during sex. We pretty much get our DeGrom in LA because he's pretty good. All right.
In my opinion, if I'm to sign one of them, I'm gonna be the hypocrite and say Jacob DeGrom, because I mean, when I look at it, if you slide Jacob DeGrom into what I assume is gonna happen is kind of what Max Scherzer's doing right now, kind of switching between teams and trying to keep the winning going. I think DeGrom's gonna do the same thing, which is kind of why I looked at you, Wolfie, or Chris. I think whichever one said that he would get like a ridiculously big deal. I don't think so. I think he's gonna go with like 2 or 3 year deals to close out his career, because he's been on the Mets his whole career. If he's going to leave the Mets, which I think he will, to go to more comfortable rotations, because this is the most comfortable rotation that he's been in, but who knows what's going to happen as we continue on. I think he is going to go to teams that have, 2, 3 guys that are like aces, and he just needs to slide right in and be the leader, and he'll be good. And I think if I'm going to sign a guy, it's going to be Jacob DeGrom to lead that kind of rotation. Because Aaron Judge is good. I love Aaron Judge. But I'm more concerned about his health as an everyday player than I am as to Jacob DeGrom, who is a pitcher who easily, I just think with a better medical plan, medical staff, whatever, I'll have the plan in my head because I'm the GM of this team. I'll make sure Jacob DeGrom stays healthy.
Well, if he's going to a team with 2 other aces, he ain't getting his ace money. And that's out.
Why not?
Well, I don't see who's gonna pay him.
2 years, 60 mil. 2 years, 80 mil.
I mean, still, I don't know.
3 years, 100. 3 years,
You know that there's gonna lead to another conversation that I'm gonna say for episode 4. Why the fuck is MLB owners so cheap? Because these dudes, they're not doing it. They're not doing it. They're not doing it. I'm telling you, even 2 years. If DeGrom, I see him staying. Honestly, I think he's staying with the Mets. I think him and Max.
Yeah, overall, I think if he
him and Max are like this,
good.
man. That's like.
I don't see him another team spending that money, and I can see him wanting that high AAV, especially like you said. I can see him going for a 2 or 3 year deal, but he's gonna want to maximize that deal.
I don't see nobody out spending Steve Cohen to make that happen.
Especially if they do well this year. Oh, like overall. Now, if he gets hurt next week, God, I don't even want to say that.
That would be tragic. That would be a tragedy.
Dude, I don't even want to say that.
Shakespearean tragedy.
Knock on wood. Like, I don't even want to say it, but...
I did it too.
Rickey,
I
help
did
me
knock
out.
on wood.
Like,
I just knocked on wood too. But yeah, let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, like...
Yeah.
Well,
that's gonna...
Chris, what kind of contract do you think Aaron Judge gets? And let's keep in mind that he's 30. MVP season. MVP.
I don't know.
I'm kidding.
I think he gets probably like 8 years.
He's a Yankee.
Maybe. I mean, if he signs with the Yankees, he's gonna get a 8 to 10 year contract easily. But the Yankees always keep their guys. Like,
they ain't doing 10.
You don't see them doing 10. I see them doing 8 to 10. After MVP year, he's selling so many jerseys. Like, he's their guy. Like, who else is like the Derek Jeter? Like, who else has been that guy since he's retired? Like, it's been Aaron Judge. He's the face of the Yankees. Like, 10 years. I'm saying 8 years, maybe.
They should
320
go, like, if he wants it, but I just see them doing more, like you said, like an 8 maybe.
I say 8 years, 300 mil.
Yeah. Yep. No, 8 years, 300 mil. That'd be less than 40 a year. No way he's doing that. He's gonna want 8, 340.
Well, what do you think he's gonna get, Wolf?
40?
Well, I'm saying because 8 times 40 is 320, so he's gonna want at least 40 mil a year. So I'm talking. I would actually see. I see the Yankees really sticking to that 7 year, but I actually do see them, like you said, because he's like the Derek Jeter of the Yankees, really wanting to keep him, and because they don't want to like kind of have that like Garrett Cole contract linger where they gave him a bunch of money and he's not performing like an ace. They're going to give the money to a guy that is performing like an MVP. So I could see them going, let's say, 42 mil a year for 7 years, maybe even 42.5. He's going to want at least 40 mil a year for 7 years.
So you give him more than they gave Trout?
Per AAV, yes. Yes.
I mean,
to be honest, he's gonna.
we all know if you're the Braves, you just let him go and you just sign 4 players for that amount. But
Now, if you were the Braves, I would say they would do that. If you're the Yankees, are you gonna be able to do that? Are you gonna be able to withstand not?
Braves are like, we can pay four motherfuckers for that. Hell no.
Like, yo,
No,
we
thank
got
you.
some kids like 40 miles away
That's
from the
not
stadium
that's like
playing in a
4-5
double A
motherfuckers.
field that it can do that.
Yo, I bet you every time the Braves were like, "Ooh, got him,
Yeah. Ooh,
dumbass."
got him.
No, dude, they walk. You know when that coach like walks out of the stadium or into the locker room and everybody's cheering up and down with them. That's like them when they get like guys to sign contracts for like 20 like mil a year for like 10 years. They're like, yeah. It's like
I was telling you guys, Mike Trout, 426.5 million. You have Acuna, Albies, Riley, and Michael Harris, 419. So you have 7 mil left over. So if you're a franchise, would you rather have Mike Trout or those 4 players?
hell.
The answer is in your question.
Is there a team and I?
Is there a
Is that
what?
even a question?
Is there a team? Is there an I
Oh,
team? Is that what they say?
Oh my God!
Oh,
Right? There's
God.
an M and an E. The damn sure is an M and
I'm
an
just
E.
not that big of a Mike Trout believer.
I do not
Yo,
love
I
Mike
think-
Trout. All
I
of us
love
love
Mike
Mike
Trout,
Trout, but like,
but
come on, yeah.
I'm kind of with.
I don't know. I mean, my thing is, I like Mike Trout. I'm not. No, I mean, don't consider me part of your clan there, Wolfie. I'm a.
Like, man.
Oh man.
Yeah, I love Mike Trout. Woo! No, I mean, Mike Trout,
Trout.
undoubtedly is our generation's GOAT, like this little time frame's best player, but I don't believe in him like that. I'm sorry. I mean,
No, I don't either.
I get a lot of Peyton Manning from him. All time great. There's no discussion. But when it's like, I don't know. He like early Peyton, like where you going through a lot of postseason.
I get more Eli, to be honest. Where he's more
Mike
like
Trout?
quiet than Peyton.
That might be personality.
I don't even mean by like the skill level. The skill level of Peyton.
Clutch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
skill level
you know
of Peyton. The
Or better yet,
mannerisms
James
of
Harden.
Eli.
Mike Trout got some
You know what I
James
was gonna
Harden
say,
in him,
Ricky?
man. I don't trust that man.
That's a good one.
I don't trust that man. I just don't. Yeah, what's up, Chris?
No, that's true.
We were talking about who would be like the guy who gets the 40-40, right? Think about Acuna last year. I'm looking at his stats now. He had 17 stolen bases, hit 24 home runs in 82 games played last year. If there's a guy who can get 40-40 in his prime, like, I mean, we love to see a healthy Acuna, though. I would love to see that. And I would definitely, I mean, Trout's great, but, like, I'm taking the 4 players all day. If that's the question, Like,
Yeah.
especially
But I'm
because he was in the MVP candidacy before he got hurt. He was playing very
And
well.
I might have the hot take of the day. I'm putting my head on a platter. Wolfie, get your notebook out. As much as we can blame the Angels coaching for the Angels' failures, you guys might know where I'm about to go with this. I honestly feel like Trout does have a part to play in it. I don't think he's that leader that they need and that he needs to be for them to fully succeed. Because, look, they've had the talent. Like, come on. They've had the fucking talent. They've had the talent. We've gone into every year. Besides these last maybe couple of years, we've gone into every year saying, okay, the Angels might. And we see it when a team has talent and they don't win, it's because they don't have the proper leadership. And yeah, their coaching could have been better, but at the same time, Mike Trout, he just sits back and lets everything play out. He doesn't take shit into his own hands, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, he has great regular seasons, but it's the same thing I felt with as a Nationals fan with Bryce Harper, where yeah, we have just this talented player, but he's not being a leader. He's not getting at some point when you're Mike Trout, you gotta sit there and yell at these guys like, I wanna win, what are we doing? Like, but we're never. I don't think we're ever gonna see that.
I see more of that in Bryce than in Mike.
Years, I don't know.
I think Mike
Oh,
is just happy to be there.
Rickey, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I'd see more of that in Bryce. I think Bryce leadership, if he has any deficiencies, it's because, and well, you would know better than all of us here, but I think he comes off abrasive. Like, I don't think he's just like, oh, all right, we lost 9-3, we're on an 8-game losing streak, ho hum. Mike Trout gives off the impression to me, and this might be a hotter take, that he's just happy to be there. Hey, I wear a Major League Baseball uniform. Yay! I got Trout on my back. Like,
and
dude, this ain't the little league.
I am the Angels.
He never come. I need one Mike Trout sound bite where he's cursing somebody out. I don't care if it's a reporter. Just like, yo, I'm sick of you. I'm frustrated. I'm tired of. Yeah, he's set for life. He's set for lives. But I'm just saying, like, I need one moment where Mike Trout pops up on a pitch that he should have sent 450 and just breaks the bat. I need to see a Pete Alonso moment from Mike Trout. Like, where's your passion? I hate to say it. Where's your passion? Like,
and he's set for life. Yes, that there's no doubt about it. He's set for life. But when you're Mike Trout, he would have been set for life on any fucking team he went to. But he chose the Angels. My thing is, like, you are hands down the best player that we've had in the last 10 years, right? You have the chance to be one of, if not the best player of all time. He has the chance.
People will call him the GOAT.
My thing is, I just don't think he wants it. Because it's like, where's the frustration? Like, you have all this, the media attention's getting more and more as we go through this. I don't know if you guys notice. It's just more and more media outlets coming out saying, oh my God, the Angels are wasting Trout's career and blah, blah, blah. And then other people are like you, Chris, they're like, oh yeah, well, he's set for life. You know, that, and that's good and that's fine. But when you're that kind of player, like, where is that intensity? Where is that I want to win at? Because I promise you, at any point in time in these last 10 years, if he would have been like overly passionate and led from the front, that one of those Angels teams would have went on a big run.
Oh yeah.
But they don't rally around him. They don't rally around him. They have the talent, but they don't rally around him.
The best leaders are the multi-millionaires that could pull the guys making thousands of dollars.
No, I agree. I'm just like, he doesn't. That's not him. Maybe they need to bring in a judge to be that guy for them.
Bro, that's such an attractive place. Shohei on the way out, he gonna come in.
I can see it though, Chris. I can see it.
He could be a generational talent, but maybe he's
Thomas,
not.
Don't play with me.
He needs somebody to be in the lineup with, in the clubhouse with him, to be that guy.
No.
Like, I'm just saying he's set for life, so maybe he just doesn't care anymore.
Rickey knows I'm coming with the bullshit.
No.
Rickey knows I'm coming with the bullshit.
Where's my
Rickey? You know I'm coming with the bullshit.
He would leave the Yankees to go to Anaheim with Shohei on the way out next year.
Maybe he's
right.
You do know where you know where he was born, right?
He could go to San Fran. There's like mad Oakland. There's mad California teams in baseball. He got mad options.
I'm just saying.
Ain't no way in Frosty the Snowman hell he's going to Anaheim.
He's not enjoying his time as a Yankee. You can see it with his body language and everything. He's most likely done.
Who said that? Wait. You said he's not.
I want you to go and watch every time Aaron Judge has been asked if he's going to remain a Yankee, and I want you to give me that answer.
It's all to make the money, bro. It's all to make the money.
Yo,
Make it seem like you don't want to come back.
You gotta
think
maintain
you're gonna come
leverage.
back.
But
You
when
can't
it
just
comes
be
to
like,
the
oh, I
Angels,
can't. Yes, I'll resign. So put the paper in front of me. Yeah, you can't do that. You gotta
I
play
wanna
the
be a
numbers.
Yankee
but
so
that's a
bad, I hope
better
they
answer
give me the
than-
scraps
but
off the
that's-
table.
As bad as an answer that's a better answer than the ones he's been given.
Yeah, he's playing the
this take.
corporate face of the franchise role. I get that, and he's also leveraging, because you want to sound a little discontent when you have your payday coming up. I'm not just gonna be like, oh, everything's great here. No, I'm gonna make. A matter of fact, if everything's great here, I'm still making up stuff. Oh, you know what? Nah, man. It's too cold. It's too chilly in here. They always got the heat on 70. I need it. You know what I mean?
You're saying the
Like,
Yankees forgot to pay the heating bill?
I'm saying
They always put
Aaron
my
Judge is
jersey
good.
in like
Aaron
Nestor's
Judge-
locker, and they screw up our lockers. Like
Aaron Judge is looking at possibly
they
half a
polish my
billion.
shoes right.
But
I'm
Onto-
making
onto-
mountains out of moles. That
And
damn
make me
that shit.
shave.
Yeah, right.
on to the next take though.
That might be legit.
I
though.
want everyone to remember. So Chris, we went back 2 episodes for you, Chris, when you were talking the good stuff about the Guardians, and it looks like it's holding true so far. There's something that I said that hasn't held true. I'm gonna swallow my pride here. And Ricky, I'm gonna apologize about the take that I gave on Jordan Montgomery. Now it's not the playoffs yet, so my full take isn't squandered yet. But I said that the Jordan Montgomery trade, I was just basically saying the guy was irrelevant, and he's what, a .33 ERA. He's having a good year. Whatever. I admit my wrongs. I am a man of my word. I admit my wrongs.
I feel like he's only gonna get better. This is crazy.
What I really want to talk about is I want to lead this into the Cardinals. And Ricky, I kind of want you to lead this off here. Let's talk about the Cardinals. How are we feeling about them? We haven't really touched on them too much.
Best 1-2 punch in the NL. With Goldie and Nato. I don't think anybody can dispute that. Tommy Edman is just mad fun, yo. Fun player.
I love that guy.
I love him too. I'm waiting on Tyler O'Neill to get on another hot run. To me, he's the 4th guy in that mix that really is like someone that can. I mean, we saw what he did last year. He hit like almost half of his home runs in August, September. He went bananas. And of course, the best story out of all this is what Pujols is doing. And something tells me they get to the postseason. I think he's going to continue this. Yo, this is Je ne sais quoi coming out of St. Louis, and yeah, you see what Jomo doing. He's been amazing. I trust Adam Wainwright. Right,
Jomo, we gave him a nickname now.
Jomo. I mean, that's what I called him. I don't know. He may go by a new nickname now. He might have said "fuck New York" completely. But
J Money.
Yeah, right. Some fly shit. You probably got a chain with that. But yeah, man, like I really like the Cardinals are, they got that Patriot, New England Patriot kind of thing with them. Where you just can't sleep on them. They're just always in the mix. I always love that team. And
well,
look,
Chris,
I like their bullpen situation too. Yeah, they're serious.
Well, Chris, you just had a fucking juice box, so why don't you tell us what you think?
Yo, I was gonna ask what is in that juice box. No. Sorry, audience. What is in that juice box?
I was in a daze and I just saw Chris just pull up a juice box.
That shit look banging. Berry lemonade?
Berry.
Oh,
No,
man.
not
very
berry
good lemonade.
Berry good
Honest.
lemonade.
Very,
kids.
very fucking good lemonade.
Yeah.
No
That
added
shit
sugar.
look- That shit probably hit like a bitch. I'm already high. That's like the perfect beverage.
I like
man.
the
God damn it,
I like
I'm
the
so
Cardinals
thirsty
too.
right now.
I think talking about the first episode, here we go again. And during that episode, the Brewers had just lost the division to the Cardinals. Now you look at it, I think the Cardinals are almost 5 games up, maybe 4 games up on the Brewers. So, starting to create that gap. Albert Pujols, people. I hate to say it, but he's who MLB is going to allow to be the first guy to hit 700 home runs. You know, we
I
talked
hope he
about Barry
Didn't you roast the
Bonds.
guy on Twitter? Didn't you roast the
Yeah,
guy on Twitter?
I actually got blocked on Twitter
Yo!
because this guy posted
Put
in
yourself on the
March.
fire.
The David Hill, he had posted his website. We're not gonna give any publicity here, but you know he's got a little website, and he had said Pujols wasn't gonna hit 700 home runs, and you know I think honestly the Cardinals might have played it smart. You know they played him a little bit more limited in the first half. The second half they're like, all right, here's the run. You know all the guys you mentioned, plus they have other guys playing really well, like Noah Gorman's playing really well. You know they got a pretty good bullpen. I would say like they're top 10.
How Dylan
Bullpen,
Carlson doing lately? By the way, anybody
Carl's,
know?
yeah.
He's doing better than he was. A lot.
Yeah,
better
because
than
he
was.
started the year raw.
Yeah, he was real rough.
It was rough.
But he turned. Same thing with O'Neal though. They both turned it around, or better.
Yeah.
This could be.
All right.
This could be. You know, we call it the year the Yankees trade away their players, and you know their players did better after they got traded away. You know, we've seen it again with Joey Gallo.
What a shot!
And then here we go. Here we go with Jordan
What a
Montgomery.
shot! He took a Met shot. He took a Yankee shot. Oh my God.
I ain't gonna go for this disrespect. No mo's.
He
No
got the
more.
Bonnet!
Here we go.
You
It's
got
coming
the
out. Go, go, go. Oh.
It's been
shit,
3
I'm lying.
episodes
I'm
of
lying.
this
Put on
Yankee
the
slander.
No. Oh shit.
I ain't gonna take this shit no more. From you motherfuckers. I wish I had the logo on this motherfucker. I'm gonna get a Yankee bonnet. That's for real. Anyway, men, protect your hair at night. Don't just sleep on rough sheets and pillowcases. But damn it, it's coming when I put it back on. Just letting everybody know, I'm going on a real rant. I'm like,
I thought I was about to be scolded.
oh no, that's a quick clean up your room. Like, you know what I mean? But if
So
I gotta
open the
bring
door,
that,
like,
yeah, if I gotta bring that back out, I'm gonna have a chancleta in my hand. I'm gonna have a fucking sandal. I'm beating ass. Anyway, damn, had to always roundabout. But it would be crazy if we got a Cardinals Dodgers NLCS. I'd be sick to my fucking stomach.
that'd be a good game.
I'd be sick.
That'd
I'd
be
be
a good matchup.
fucking sick. It would, but I'd
I'd be like, all right.
I'd be dreading it.
It's totally what I wanted.
Yeah, totally not what I want. I need that Mets Braves. Some about that just screams at me. Or Mets Dodgers. I need the Mets.
All right,
man. I
Wolf,
need
tell us about the Cardinals, Wolf.
Honestly, yo, the Cardinals are a good team because when you actually look at that division, there's not much competition. But they actually made some moves with bringing in Montgomery, which was pretty much like a stellar move. It worked out so good for them. He's starting off 4-0 with like a sub .5 ERA. But the thing about the Cardinals is they already had pieces for the last couple of years that just stepped up. One of them being Goldschmidt, who's having an MVP year. And all of us know
That's
that.
my
like,
MVP.
Dude, he's been good for a while, and
He's
you've
been.
brought it up in previous episodes. Like, he's been like a dark horse Hall of Fame. And I'm like 100%.
I'm gonna get into
on board
that
with
another time.
I'm
Yo.
100%. Yeah, like you said, another time, but I'm on board with that. But they have Arenado stepping up. While he's not, I wouldn't say
Love
a big
him.
factor, Yachty is a good veteran player. You just need that one
Oh yeah.
veteran guy on the
Oh
team.
yeah.
Plus,
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's helping out with guys like Montgomery, veteran catcher. Montgomery's not all of a sudden going with Higgy or Trevino or the past where he's had Gary Sanchez. They also went out and got Quintana, like you guys said. Dakota Hudson's
Yeah,
been there.
yeah.
They've actually had, I have it right here, they've had Adam Wainwright as well. And they've had Miles Mikolas, who's also been pretty damn good this year. They've also
Jack
had that
already
one
had
guy,
Tommy John, right? Is he out for the year or what's up with that?
I don't think he's out for the year. I thought it was till at least the playoffs. I could be wrong on that, unless he got pushed back. But they also have
they
Adam
get him
Palente,
back, boy.
and he's been pretty good, and he's been in their bullpen too. So they have pieces. Gallegos is back there. Not Gallegos. What's that one guy's name? Not Galaragos. Oh my gosh. What?
Ryan Helsley is a
Gallegos,
beast.
whatever his name is. Hellis is back there. They still have Hicks back there too. But between the bats and the team, DeJong's coming back and he's hitting pretty well. they have like just a solid
Holy.
overall team. And compared to a
Yeah,
team like the Brewers in
everywhere
their
you look.
division, like who's really gonna face them? But the big matchup,
house.
they do play the Braves
Everywhere
coming up.
you look.
You guys talked about the Braves in the playoffs. They play the Braves in the next series. So just wait till later this week till they
Whoa.
play the Braves. The next episode, we're going to come back.
I
and
need
break
to
that
clear
down.
my schedule for that one.
Dude, the next episode, we're going to break that down because that is going to be some good baseball coming up.
That's gonna be fireworks.
And Ricky said this. I believe it was episode 1 where you said like you're really overly excited for the playoffs, and that like it feels like like you're a kid in a candy shop. I feel the same way, and I didn't feel this way until this streak that
with
the
every
Cardinals went on.
matchup. With every matchup.
Like,
I'm in that every possible scenario.
For me, now that the Cardinals are winning, it's adding another layer to these playoffs because the Cardinals
sure.
are a team that you really just can't count out. You can just never count out the Cardinals.
Never.
No.
It's like the Red Sox. Like if the Red Sox are there, you just can't count them out. If the Cardinals are there, you can't count them out. If the Giants are there, you can't count them out. They're just teams that you just can't count out no matter what they have on the field. Now, their pitching does scare me a little bit. I don't think they have... Again, I'm not shitting on Montgomery. Montgomery is great.
I'm not shitting on him, but...
Their pitching does scare me. I don't... I feel like hitters are not going to be up there shaking in their boots in the box, their opponents. But on the other end of the coin... Arenado and Goldschmidt are very locked in. There's just something real scary about those two being locked in at the same time. Their fielding is like they're like from
They
third
make a
base
play every
to
game.
first base. Their fielding is locked in. Like you see Goldschmidt just picking everything out of the dirt. Arenado's making ridiculous plays. Tommy Edman, like listen, I'm in a faithful relationship with a female and I have a daughter. But listen, I have a huge crush on Tommy Edman.
Don't let Papi Julio hit
that. That guy
it.
is good, man. That guy is a good baseball player.
Don't let Julio hit it.
But what I said about the Mets, also before can also be said about the Cardinals. I think the magic is there for them. They have Yadier Molina, they have Albert Pujols, and they have Adam Wainwright retiring after these playoffs. If you think they're not going to rally around that and raise a lot of hell, I don't. It's making it a lot harder for me right now. I can't pick who's going to win the NL, let alone the World Series. But listen, Albert Pujols, one of my friends said this. He is the best St. Louis Cardinals trade deadline acquisition in the last 10 years.
10 years? I gotta go through
I
that.
apologize.
All right, mark it down.
Well, whatever.
Down.
I gotta go through that one. That is an extensive list. But they don't make a lot of moves either.
They don't make a lot of moves. So when you look at it and do the research I did, because when my friend said it to me, I was like, dude, what? No, that's a joke. And then you look and it's like, yeah.
Yeah. What's funny is
I guess.
that when they do make a deal, it's usually in the winter. They get to it that way that whoever they acquire is with them to start the year. They don't do a lot of mid-season shakeups like that. They usually roll with who they got.
Yes, sir. Does anyone have any final takes on the Cardinals before we move on?
Yeah, I just think that all Yachty needs to do in the playoffs is just throw one guy out, and then that just creates a big game win, and then they get the ball rolling. You can see it, and you love to see things like that in the playoffs. So
Yachty throw one guy out, Pujols hit a home run, and Wainwright throws 7 scoreless all in one game.
Yachty doesn't even need to get a hit, basically. Just solid defense and throw one guy.
Yeah, right.
Honestly, solid D.
If he goes 0 for 20 this
Hey,
postseason, and I'm leaving that alone.
I'm going to say 1 for 20. Give him that one. That one lucky.
This one? Yeah, it'll be like a 28-mile-per-hour dribbler.
The guy tries to run up with it barehanded and misses it under his hand.
Gets fielded iffy, and then the scorer still gives it a base hit. Yeah, like not an error. Like,
and he was
I
already
used to
trailing
really
off
hate
of
the
the
Cardinals.
baseline to go to the dugout. He's like, oh, okay, I'm going to go back in.
real quick.
I used to really hate the Cardinals because if you guys remember in 2012 when the Cardinals did the Nationals absolutely horrendously dirty and like destroyed our hopes and dreams at a very young part of our dynasty.
I mean, well,
Or not dynasty, whatever you want to call it.
Wolfie can.
I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know what else
What?
to call like. No, it definitely not. No, I'm not saying they were a dynasty like by definition. I'm just
So
saying like
right.
that version of the franchise, that winning part.
Well, the St.
Yeah, we got
Louis.
crushed by the Cardinals, but then we swept them in the NLCS in 2019, so it was great. So
Mets have their nightmare. That curveball that Wainwright threw to Carlos Beltran is still crazy.
Oh,
That shit was.
remember
a
when
roller
Luis
coaster.
Castillo dropped the ball?
and he's and
I know
Oh.
it was against
Adam
the Cardinals,
Wainwright
it was
is
against
still
the Yankees.
pitching.
I saw that clip this year. I was like, wow, Luis.
I
what the
see that at least once a month. I feel like, and I'm just like, that happened, and I am glad it happened.
Dude, he's still pitching though. Adam Wainwright.
Yeah, that's amazing. You know what's one thing we all can
16
agree
years
on?
ago.
Every baseball writer that's in the paper, they want the Cardinals to win. Because you
Oh.
got 3 easy baked storylines right in there with Waino and Pujols and Yachty. Like
I
they-
still
even
say the
Nolan.
Mets story would be a
Even
better one.
Nolan.
right. But Goldie too.
God,
And
so many-
like
But
I
on that
said,
note,
Goldie won a ring.
Dude, they're a
He's in the
scary
Hall of
team.
Fame.
so what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna play a game that we normally always play some kind of games because we're a bunch of joking ass motherfuckers up in here.
Pin the tail on the
So
donkey.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna call it this week. Will it continue? So first off, Albert Pujols. Give a quick answer. Give a quick sentence. Wolfie, will Albert Pujols continue and get the historic 700?
You know what? I actually am going to say he is. A couple reasons. Quickly, he's having one of the best OPS stretches and slugging percentage stretches he's ever actually had in his career.
Entire.
And I think it's to a point, too, where guys, I mean, probably all of us would do it, too, if we were in the majors.
Dude, these old men are just
Like,
snapping.
dude, if you're a guy like let's say the Cubs, Pirates, Reds in that division going by the Cardinals, you're probably just throwing that ball down the middle, just hoping that guy gets 700. How could you not at this point? You know, I'm going to say there's something in him, a little bit of magic. Maybe they're the umpire tossing in a special ball every now and again. Albert Pujols, I actually think he will break that 700. There's just a part of me that wants it so bad. I don't think he's going to come back to break it, so if it's going to happen, it's going to happen this year. But you know what? I think he's going to do it.
I think, real quick to interject, I think he's gonna do it because I believe in miracles. Baseball, I don't know, it's just a feel-good sport. I really think it's gonna happen. And to Wolfie, to your point, I do think veteran pitchers are gonna throw him more cookies. I can't see the young guys that's trying to make teams and. They care a little more about their ERAs and numbers. I can't see them doing it.
Or close games.
But guys that's established in the league that maybe even came up with Pujols, know him, got history, you know what I mean? I could definitely see them maybe hanging their curveball a little bit, you know what I mean? Giving them a little, oopsie sliders.
Whoa,
Little cement,
my bad.
little cement mixer.
Chris, what's your answer?
Yeah, I mean, Pujols hit 277 this year. Like, the guy is he's hitting well. And I think, the Cardinals played it right. They gave him well enough rest in the first half, and he's ready to go. He's on a hot streak. Like, if he's gonna do it, he's gonna do it during this streak. And I think, he's got they got some tougher games coming up, but he's also been clutching those tough games. Like, he was the only run in the game that they won a few nights ago, which was Jordan Montgomery was pitching. Like, it was a 1-0 game, and he hit the home run. Like, he's hitting timely home runs. It's great to see, and I think, baseball needs him to hit the 700 home run because they need that clean face to say, we got somebody who didn't use steroids and hit 700.
The irony, yeah.
We see that they
I
cut
agree.
A-Rod short. They
I like
cut Barry
that.
Bonds short of 700. This is the guy. This is who we're going to celebrate. And also you see, like, at the All-Star game, like, look at what they did at the All-Star game. Like, everybody was all around Pujols. They loved it. And, it's just,
That was dope.
they want to see it more than anyone as well. It's the young players. So
I absolutely like that, and I absolutely agree. That was a really good take right there. I think baseball definitely does need this to happen, and I think baseball will make it happen. On top of that, Pujols is motivated for it to happen. I mean, like
Ben, yeah.
Wolfie said, or my bad, like you said, Chris, he's hitting 277. Yeah, I mean, I know you and I, we look at these old guys and laugh at their stats all the time. I mean, this is another case.
Mm.
He's like how old now?
Yeah, man.
And he's hitting 277
He
and
should have
actually has a
never have left
legitimate
St.
chance.
Louis.
Because how many home runs does he need? 7 or 8?
5.
I think
7.
it's,
No, I think no
no,
6. I think he hit one tonight. Did he hit one tonight?
He got like he's only
Whoa.
5 away, I think, bro.
No.
He's only like 6 tops away. I think we getting it, man. And it's not even far fetched to say he really can do it. He really can do it.
Yeah.
He didn't
Easy
hit one
answer
tonight,
for all of
but
us, for
just
sure.
to give you
So,
an example of what I was saying, just a quick last thing, to add to his slugging percentage, yesterday and today he had doubles. So,
Look at that.
yeah.
all right. So
And Wolfie, what about Josh Hader? Do you think his struggles continue?
I'm going to say they're going to continue this year, but overall as a pitcher, there's no way this dude is all of a sudden just going to pitch to a 12.0 ERA for like the rest of his career. There's got to be something wrong with him, whether it be tipping pitches or just not having the velocity or just having the yips or something. You're telling me all of a sudden one of the best relievers in baseball, guys that were damn near going to win the Cy Young, are all of a sudden going to pitch to like a double-digit ERA? You don't even have guys in the minors coming up pitching that level. So like, especially because they went out and made the trade. Maybe he's got some extra pressure on him. He's always played in Milwaukee. I'm not making an excuse for him because clearly there was something wrong even before he left to go to San Diego. But there's got to be something mechanically wrong or mentally wrong. Because a guy like that, there's no way he's going to pitch like that for the rest of his career. I don't know if he needs time off, a different coach, just surgery. Maybe there's something wrong they haven't found yet. But do I think he's going to do it next week? No. But next year or even the year after that, he's got to turn it around somehow. He's just too good to not to.
Chris?
Yeah, I mean, this year, what's missing is he's just not striking out as many people, and it's what scares me the most about him is them giving him a demotion. Sometimes you see when closers get that demotion, they just never are themselves again, which is kind of scary. Not saying that his stuff. We all agree his stuff is great when he's great, but like he's just not striking people out this year. That's what makes closers dominant. Like look at Papelbon in the playoffs. In the 3 years he didn't have any runs given up. Like they had his stuff, but like, So I just think it's deserved to get the demotion. It's what scares me is the demotion itself because some guys just don't bounce back. You love to see him bounce back because they just traded for him. But I think it's the downfall of the Padres. Soto or not Soto, but Tatis, and now Hader's not panning out, and it's tough to
Just
see.
another sad ending to the Padres this year. Yeah, I can see the writing on the wall for that. I don't think he gets better either. I honestly, I don't even like the guy, so I'm not rooting for it either.
He's
So,
a troubled past.
fuck Josh Hader. He's a choke job. I mean, he notoriously chokes too, so even if he does, I think, pick it up in the regular season, he's not really, I don't think he's going to do them justice in the offseason. He's blowing a lot of, he's blowing a lot.
Not wrong there.
So Wolfie, Aaron Judge, do you think Aaron Judge closes this year on the right note? As in,
Absolutely.
he stays hot through the rest of the year.
Dude, absolutely. You know what it is, too? The factor with him has always been about health. Yes, there was always that, big strike zone. He strikes out a lot. Rickey, we talked about this episodes ago, too. He's basically a Goliath with that strike zone, so you can't even, take that into the factor. He's always had the power. He's always been a clutch player. His average has been up this year. He actually went out and played center field for most of the year and was great at it. He wanted to play it too. He was all about it, and he's got great speed because he's like every 2 steps of his is like one of someone else's. Like you said, health wise and all that. Do we want them doing it every day? But at the same time, he's proved it. And even with his couple series stretches, even the other day, it's the talk before the Subway Series, because he did have some home runs there, was oh, he's gone like a few games without home runs. It's like, dude, the guy almost has 50 home runs. Like, so what? He hasn't gone like 2 or 3 games without a home run. He's still one of the best players in baseball. So even if he doesn't go on and like, oh my God, he's not hitting 60 home runs. Like, as of right now, there's no way he's not going on a high note. He will have a decent average. He'll lead the Yankees. He'll turn it around, to be honest, and lead the Yankees to a playoff run. And yeah, I think he's going to be fine the rest of the year. He's going to be what he's been all year.
I agree. Ricky, what do you think?
Am I the only one seeing that?
Yo, Chris, talk to us.
Yo, what up, Rick?
We all see Judge as the MVP. Well, I didn't see him as the MVP, but I think the Yankees are going to need him to play well, and he is playing for that contract, and this is when the Yankees need him most, and he's going to have to prove that he's that guy that can do it for the Yankees. So I can see him. I can see him pulling it off and doing well, but what did you do?
This is the rest of the podcast.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm gonna have to say that I think Aaron Judge does continue on here. I think it's just you guys know that I'm a believer in Aaron Judge, and I think to what Wolfie says, I think he's proven that he's gonna be healthy for the rest of the year, and even if he does get hurt, I think he'll be the guy to play through the injury. So.
Y'all are wild.
So Wolfie, what about Cody Bellinger? Do you think Cody Bellinger is going to continue to struggle? And I don't just say this year; I mean for the rest of his career. Do you think the story's cooked?
I'll say this: I don't think he's going to get back to the MVP status. I do think there's hope that he could be a better player, but between him and Yelich that year, something's different. I don't know if it's the baseballs. Obviously, their play has been affected, but I don't think they're ever going to get to that point where they're hitting 40-plus home runs a year, up 300 close batting average. If anything, he might hit like mid-250s, maybe get back to a point where he's hitting 25, 30 home runs. But I'll be honest, I actually think he might be, I don't want to say a bust, not at all. But are we talking back to an MVP Cody Bellinger? I don't know. I don't think it's there. Unless maybe going to a new team, getting some different coaching on him might improve him, stick him in a straight DH spot or, a position that he, can actually be serviceable in and not have to worry about playing different outfield positions or whatnot or switching to just DH. But to go back to an MVP Bellinger, I think that time is come and gone. As much as I would like to see him, he was a, up-and-coming star face of baseball. I don't think we're getting that anymore.
Yo, Chris, what do you think?
I think it's one thing to be in a slump, but to do this, consecutively, it's kind of, I don't know, you see the Dodgers now playing Thompson more than they play Bellinger. As of lately, they just benched Bellinger last week or the week before, and it's just, again, it's sad. You got a shower cap too? Nice.
Oh, we missed his rant.
I think I don't know. I like Bellinger. I think Bellinger. He was in that video game. I think the kid. I think he just needs to mature. Maybe he smokes too much weed. Maybe out in LA. I don't know. I think
there was a part of me that was thinking that
he's throwing off his hand-eye coordination. Yeah, maybe he's throwing off his hand-eye coordination. It is legal out there, so maybe they allow the players to.
Inside.
Well, I'm gonna look into the future. Listen, I'm holding scissors very dangerously. I'm holding scissors dangerously. You're supposed to hold them like this. I'm holding them like this. Cody Bellinger will be an MVP again.
Jesus.
That's all I gotta say.
I have a feeling Josh Donaldson could be an MVP the same amount.
I don't, dude.
I'm joking. I'm joking. Don't hold me to that.
He's one of the most athletic guys in the outfield. He's a lefty bat, power lefty bat. He's still hitting home runs. I when I look at it, I just see it as a really long slump. I mean, we know the talent's there. We all know the talent's there. And it's the Dodgers. They're going to continuously be having people in front of him trying to help him with his game. I think he locks back in. I think he needs to lay off the weed. Definitely
That's
needs
what
to
I'm
lay off the
saying.
weed because he'd be high as shit.
That's
But
what I'm saying.
what
There's
about
no way he's not.
to end this segment? The Tampa Bay Rays, Wolfie. Are they going to continue to stay hot? Are they going to make themselves a threat like they always do?
I'm gonna say no, and the reason being is that they're gonna be a team that might be competing for the playoffs because of that third place wild card. But overall, they're just not like what they were doing last year. Their manager was getting away with some stuff that wasn't working for other teams, and at the time, an opener here and there using the bullpen in different ways was helping. While they are keeping up in the division, I don't think they're doing anything spectacular. When it comes to Toronto, I mean, even the Orioles in the last 3 weeks have actually gone up and down with them. If that's the case, I just don't see them going farther than what they are. Plus, they don't really have that like star player anymore, where it's like, and they really haven't in general. Even when their pitching has been pretty good, but guys have been hurt here and there. With McClanahan's been doing good. They had oh my gosh, what's his name? Shane. I'm drawing a blank right. No, not McClanahan. What's the other guy that Glasnow. I'm sorry, Tyler Glasnow. He was hurt for most of the year. So like they had guys that were like pitching wise good, getting them through the year, but they're at that point now where they're just lacking that like star couple bats, and they're scraping by, but they're not doing anything special in my opinion.
What about you, Chris?
I think I think what they do the best is they just play team baseball, and they can get hot and just play with more chemistry than anybody. And if they're only like 8 games back from the Yankees, I think, maybe even less by now. And it's all year they were behind way more. So I think to your point, Wolfie, I think what they are lacking is a big home run hitter. Yeah, they have guys with like a Rosaran, and you have Paradis, and you have they have what's his face, Choi,
G-Man Choi. Yeah.
G-Man Choi. So you got those guys, but they don't have a guy who's in the high 20s, the high 30s. So they lack that, but they do hit timely. They have guys like Yandy Davis or Yandy Diaz who's hitting really well. He's playing good defense. I do like their ace. I do like Shane. I think McClanahan is legit. Like he can give you 8 innings, 10 Ks in a game. Like he can do it. And they do have a good bullpen because they do play that bullpen game. They do that all season, so they have a very tough bullpen. The thing about their bullpen stats is it's always different. It's always going to be skewed because they have that 1 game or 2 games they don't pitch traditionally. So I think their bullpen is pretty solid, and come playoff times they don't really necessarily need that to go that whole full game. So again, it all goes back to what the Yankees do with Judge, or what the Judge does in this last stretch, and the Yankees do. But who's to say that the Rays don't come back and take the East?
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, I am frankly tired of the Rays. I mean, in my opinion, their existence bothers me because it's similar to the Athletics, where they're not. I mean, it's different because obviously they're doing better than the Athletics, like night and day. I think they're both running the same strategy, but the Rays are doing way better.
So much better.
My thing about it is Tropicana Field is like the worst ballpark in the entire league, and their fans don't show up. And I also have seen articles where they can't show up. It's hard to get there. I whatever. But the Rays do have a deep lineup. They have a lot of good pitching. Tyler Glasnow wants to come back. I don't know if it's enough this year. I don't know if it's enough this year. I can't see them beating the Yankees or the Astros. I think maybe they get a round one win against maybe the Mariners, maybe the or maybe the Guardians, maybe the Mariners, maybe the Blue Jays, maybe. But I don't see them beating the Yankees or the Astros. So,
No, I
you
don't.
know,
There's no way.
with all that, guys,
What's
I think this is a
record?
successful episode 3.
What's the
Yeah,
Rays
that was
versus
a great
Yankees
episode
record?
3. Yo, everybody's been rolling.
Hell yeah. So, you know, with that being said, let's give some final takes. Let's get on out of here. So Chris, what are you gonna leave us with?
I'm gonna leave us with. Oh, you just threw me way off with that.
I got you. Yeah,
Uh,
I'll take over. I'll pass it to you, Chris. I'll pass it to you. Yeah, I'm just
all
gonna
right,
leave
all
with a
right, come
quick
back to
hot
it.
take. The Mets are 79 and 46 right now. There's 37
Here
games
we
left
go.
in their schedule. I gotta end with a Met take. We haven't talked Mets the whole thing. I've been so depressed I haven't even wanted to talk Mets. But we're gonna leave on a hot Mets take. I'm ready to roll right now. I'm hopped up on caffeine. Mets take. 79 wins already. You got 37 games left. If you go 21 and 16, which is only 5 games above 500 for the rest of the year, you're a 100-win team. 5 games above 500. And they have one of the easiest ending schedules in baseball. I'm not saying they're going to win, 30 and 7, but even if you go 21 and 16, you're a 100-win team. There's only one problem, though. It's not the Mets collapse that everybody keeps hoping for. I know you're dying for it, Saxby. You don't want to say it. I know you're dying for it.
Listen, when the Nationals aren't in it, I'm just a fan of baseball. So if the Mets are, it's gonna be a good story. No, I don't want them to win the World Series, but I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind them going far.
You know what it is, though? It's not even just the Mets. It's the Braves. The Braves are so hot right now. I think they're 50 and 14, if I'm not mistaken, since June 1st. It's not the Mets collapse that everybody's thinking that's going to happen. It's the Braves just being the World Series contender of 2021, stepping up and finally taking over. It's going to come down to the wire. I don't think it's going to be a sure thing one or the other. One team's going to not win by 5 games, the other team's not. By the way, they play each other the last series of the year. So all I'm going to say this right now, Mets, if you're going to do anything right now, just play at least above 500 baseball and just win out the year. Like, Chris, that being said, back to you, bud.
Yeah, my final take is, shout out to them, MLB, making a good play, a good rule change. That's not a rule change, but a schedule change next year. All 30 teams will play one another next year. Thought that's really cool. They also gave each team got rivals, so looks like I can't really root for Ronald Acuna anymore because the Braves are now the NL rival of the Red Sox as of next year. So. Hate to see it. We wish we got a worse rival, but it should be some good baseball between our new rival. But yeah, I think that's a good change. That's a good change for baseball because they should be playing all 30 teams.
I agree.
They should all be playing each other. So, I would say the last big change was when the Astros moved from the NL to the AL. So, the DH rule is great too. Yeah, why can't Albert Pujols play next year? Because there's a DH in the NL, so maybe that's probably why the St. Louis brought him back.
Done.
Dude, Albert Pujols is so run down and so past what he was probably supposed to play, man.
I can see him coming back if he does miss 700. If the Cardinals actually no, you know what? I don't see him coming back.
To give my final take. The Nationals are 42 and 83. They're only 37 games back. We have a decent away record of 23 and 39. We have a run differential of negative 209. We're on a win streak right now. We just won 1 in a row. We're 4 and 6 in our last 10. We've allowed 675 runs, but we've scored 466. So with that being said, everybody have a good night. Believe in the Nationals. Everything I just said. Thank you for listening. This was another edition of High and Inside.
Episode 3.
Please please subscribe, please run it up. This was fun, and we're going to keep bringing it. Have a good
I
night.
shut down my screen early because that's what most National fans did 20 games ago.
Ah!
Let's get it.